Hello and good morning, Rickey. How are you doing today?
Well, good morning. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. I love the mission you're on when it comes to this new song.
Yeah, it's been, you know what? This has been, for me, a long time coming. I had tried for many years to get a television production of about the MMIW.
Yes.
The missing and murdered Indigenous women situation. And every network kind of just turned it down. We got backing, but nobody even wanted to touch on the subject. So what happened was, kind of got put on the back burner. I still was outspoken about the situation. And all of a sudden, I got with my friend Mark Werpel, who had been involved with me in Blackfoot for many years. And we decided we were going to put together a side band so that when Skynyrd's off the road, I can, have something to do, go out and play. Well, then we started thinking about new songs, and I had this song lying around for about 6 or 7 years. And it was actually co-written. Not only did Mark put himself in the song and do some of the writing, but the basic writing had been done between the lead singer, lead guitar player of Blackberry Smoke, Charlie Starr,
yes,
and myself. We took the song. Mark come down to my studio. We listened to it, and we decided to go forward on this. Then along comes this guy, Scott, who owns Rock the Cause Records. That's distributed through Orchard Sony. And he told us what he likes to do was, if he signs an artist, puts a song out, that they donate part of the proceeds to a certain charitable cause.
Oh, man.
Bingo. That set it off for me.
Exactly.
So what happened, I got a hold of a very, very good friend of mine. It's like a brother. And he is the actor, well-known, not only in countless films, but also lately the Yellowstone series.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Gil Birmingham.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Gil plays the tribal chairman of the Indian Nation on the show. Well, they had done a segment in the season, I think it was season 3. They had done a segment of the show just about this. Now, go back, Gil had done a movie with Jeremy Renner called Wind River.
Yes.
That was about half a dozen years ago or whatever, and it was about this subject. Gil was the father of a missing and found murdered Indigenous daughter. So Gil, I told Gil what I was wanting to do. He said, "Rickey, give me a little bit of time. Let me get a hold of Taylor Sheridan, because I know that he donates. Since then, he donates to the missing and murdered Indigenous women movement through a charitable organization." He called me back and said the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center is who to go to. That's what we did. We put the song out. Now part of the proceeds will go directly to them, also to the Dreamcatchers charitable organization and the National Save the Wolves Foundation.
Wow.
So there you go. I am trying to make this happen to give back in a great way,
Oh, my God. This to me is so, it's like the great creator has spoken into your heart, and everything is growing from you, and it just continues to spread out.
Yes. I mean, I'm very, I'm so proud and happy that we're doing this. And we're already looking at doing another song and doing the same thing. Continue, on this journey of bringing awareness
yes.
to a very, very serious situation that has gone on for decades after decades after decades, far too long, and no attention brought to it.
Right.
And that's what really gets my, heated up. That's what gets me going, is for the fact that nothing is ever talked about it.
Yeah, it's not even on the front page. It's not on the front page. It's not even on page 6.
No, nowhere. You won't find it. But, sometimes, and I don't mean anything by this, no disrespect to anybody or whatever, but I was talking to a native buddy of mine, and he said, Ricky, because we are sovereign nation,
yep.
Within the United States, reservations are counted as sovereign nations. It's almost like we're not even citizens of this country. Mm-hmm. And I got to thinking about that. And you know what? It's almost, he's not too far from being wrong,
So many people don't understand the power of Native American spirituality. And I think this is one of those moments where we can come together as a people and start getting the conversation going. But it's going to take a circle of people and not just one person. And that's what you're building here, is a circle of people.
Well, you know what? I hope that everybody will just look into it, read about it. I mean, it will stun you, the statistics of how many older women, middle-aged women, younger women, young children that have gone missing and found deceased, and the whole bit. It is just horrifying to me.
Even growing up in the state of Montana, I mean, we didn't read these stories, and yet we were right there in the center of the Crow Nation, Blackfoot, Lakota, the Arapaho, and we never heard these stories.
Well, it's interesting because I have another really good friend of mine, actor friend of mine, was in Wonder Woman, and lately my friend Don McLarnon's got Dark Winds out. His name, this friend of mine, Eugene Brave Rock, right there from the Blackfoot Indian Reservation, he's right in the epicenter of it all.
Yep. And
we've discussed it. And he's told me about, my God, people would not believe how many people have gone missing. And it's an epidemic to unbelievable proportions. And I hope that this brings somewhat of an awareness to it, and that people will look into it, read for themselves, and decide for themselves, hey, I'd like to donate to these people and help get this brought out in the open.
Rickey, have you guys created a website or anything to where people can go to learn more about this? Because, I mean, the conversation has got to be a continuation.
Well, you can go straight to the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center, and you can read all about it. Now, to donate, you can donate straight to them, or you can go through my website, RickeyMedlocke.com, and that would be RickeyMedlocke.com, and you can donate through there. We have, like, merch, right there, shirts and stuff, and all that stuff, every bit of it, goes straight to the NIW. Yep.
Yeah. Is there going to be any type of a festival or some sort of where people can go and you can invite actual, it'd be like a powwow. I mean, when we have the powwows down here in the Carolinas, my God, Rickey, people come from everywhere.
Well, we've thought about this, and we've looked into, I'm a member of the Native American Music Hall of Fame, and we've talked to a wonderful person there, who heads it up, Ellen Bellows, about doing different functions and playing different places to invite people out to listen to people talk that know a lot about it. And you can hear, what they're saying and their speeches and, quoting statistics and how to get people involved.
Yeah.
So the future's up for grabs, my friend. and I'm into it. I'm all a part of it.
Yeah, it's not just getting people involved. It's staying involved and staying with the cause and creating the activation.
That's right. That's right. Once you get in it, I'm telling you, great things happen, great numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
The greater the numbers, the greater it happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you find yourself maybe talking on Capitol Hill or anything like that and trying to get some sort of hearing going on to bring more attention to this?
Well, it's interesting that you say that. I have a very good friend. She's the Secretary of Interior at the moment. Her name is Deb Holland, and she's Native, full Native. And I have spoken to her about this when the song come out, directed her to listen to the song, to hear what we're doing, and she goes, Rickey, at some point in my schedule, I'd like to schedule you to come up and let's get in front of the right people and let this be heard. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Be heard and be seen. It can't be that show that's going to play at 2:00 in the morning.
No. And if anybody wants to check out what I was trying to do, going back even further, I was slated to host and narrate a television show called Homeland Nation, and you can find stuff on YouTube about that. And to see that I went all the way back then, trying to get stuff involved and trying to get people to hear me out. So there's always the possibility to resurrect stuff. And all I can do is keep pushing,
Do you find yourself in a position to where you see what the bitter enemy is, and that is the media? How do you stretch out the coup stick and try to bring peace to that circle?
Well, I think it's in my opinion, the one thing that my grandfather taught me, the one thing that you'll never come to terms with a lot of times with people is when you get into a discussion about politics and religion.
Yep.
And the thing is, the political agenda in this country is just off on another thing. I mean, I would believe that Native American issues is almost on the back burner,
Yep.
the last thing on the totem pole.
Yep.
to anybody want to discuss. I know people in the news media and have reached out to them and have yet to hear anything back from them, which I would be glad to go on one of those shows and have an open discussion. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. So how can we help you continue to have this conversation? I mean, this is one of those things where one podcast is not going to be enough for you and I. We're going to have to get you on other things and find out where the people are.
Well, I think one of the best things to do, go on the websites, and go on the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center, their website.
Yes.
Continue to talk to people, spread the word. If you spread the word of mouth is one of the quickest ways to get people's attention. You understand what I mean?
I do.
It's and what I'm doing, publicity-wise, I'm getting in front of a lot of press right now, whether it be printed, whether it be podcast, or, I've already done interviews as far over as Europe talking about this problem.
Yep.
And they are really interested in it. And so all I can do for me, is to keep getting in touch with the people I know, keep putting the pressure on to get in front of the camera or in front of the press or news or whatever and talk about this subject.
Man, I love where your heart is. Man, you have got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Well, I thank you very much, man. It's a great honor to talk to you. And I understand you are of Cree heritage.
Absolutely, sir.
That's great. Very commendable.
And we just have to come together as a community. We've all done this throughout history. We've just got to continue being a community.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, you be brilliant today, okay, sir?
Yes, sir. And you take good care of yourself. Spread the word. And hopefully, I'll get back to you at some point. We'll still have another discussion.
Absolutely. I love it.